Welcome back to the Retro Sports Gamer channel. And this is another Retro Sports Gaming Monthly for May 2018. We got our co-hosts with us tonight. One on screen, one not. The one off screen is Troy, GB Land. Troy, how you doing?
Doing good. I didn't think the fans wanted to see all of this hotness tonight.
All right. And then we got Nick the Commish.
Yeah, hey, I'm glad we're taking the viewer comments and not showing Troy's face anymore. I totally agree.
The hair's looking good, Nick.
Thank you.
It's like you just got up from a Mother's Day nap.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Long story.
And then our guest with us tonight is Hal Hawkins, owner and organizer of the Retro World Series. What's up, Hal?
Oh, not much. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. So, let's get right into this thing. I first learned about the Retro World Series at Tecmo Madison 12. Tecmo Madison 12 was advertised as the last Tecmo Madison ever. That did not happen. But you were there, Retro World Series. You were on the stream, I believe. You had an advertisement on the stream, but you were also there with some retro gaming setup. So was that the start of Retro World Series that year?
That was the first event we went to that year. This was something I'd been planning for a couple of years, and I wanted to figure out a way to get involved with the retro gaming, retro gaming community. And the most well-known, really, as far as from a competitive nature, is Tecmo Madison. And so I contacted Josh and was wanting to see how I could get involved. And, he asked me if I'd be interested in sponsoring and bringing a free play area to Madison. And I was like, sure. And so I supplemented the payouts, and I didn't know it was going to be the last one he was doing, but I found out that night when I was there. But, it was a great experience. I got to meet a lot of people. And that was the first step in spreading the word about the Retro World Series.
Yeah, and it seemed like a good time to do it. Obviously they built this great event, Tecmo Madison, up to that point. So it's like, oh, what is this Retro World Series thing? So what kind of motivated you to start doing this whole thing?
Well, I've always wanted to start a business, and I'm a competitor. I was a college athlete, and I like old school games. And I saw that no one was doing, at least from a national standpoint or a league standpoint, doing retro gaming competitively. You see it all the time, and with modern games, but it's not something that really interests me. There are some modern games I like, but it's just constantly changing. Whereas retro games they're retro games, and so I wanted to do something that no one else was doing, and I liked that it was very diverse and you could do all kinds of games and never get old.
Yeah, there's a lot of popular retro games out there, and it looks like the last 2 or 3 years you've been running that you've included a lot of different games as part of the Retro World Series. So what are some of the games that have been included so far?
Oh man, we've had I'm not going to count all the high score and speed run tournaments we've had, but we've had probably over 20 different games or types of games for tournaments. The most regular ones we have generally are Smash 64 and Super Turbo, NBA Jam and Killer Instinct. We've had a lot. We've had RBI Baseball. We've had NHL 94. Balloon Fights, always a very popular one. Miss Pac-Man, the Tengen version that has the versus mode. That was a surprisingly popular tournament. Mortal Kombat 2. I could go on and on and on.
So out of those games that have been part of the Retro World Series, what are some of your favorites personally?
Well, personally, I like NBA Jam, especially Tournament Edition. That's the one I grew up with on the SNES.
Me too.
I have most of the NBA Jam World records, so on Twin Galaxy. So I don't like to brag, but that's one thing I do enjoy having. But I like the original Tecmo Bowl. That was another one I grew up on. That was one of my first NES games. And so those would be, and then RBI baseball. I really love that game as well. So I like sports games. So, but I mean, I love a lot of kinds, but those are my favorite competitively.
And I've learned just recently, one of the guys that I've interviewed before, which is Kevin Cabarello, he took an NBA Jam record for largest point differential in NBA Jam T for the Genesis, but he had to update me that you were the guy that took that record from him. So,
yeah, it's kind of funny. I saw he took my record, and then I took it back, and I kind of teased him about it because when he posted about it, he said never again. He said he was never going to do it again. So I updated my forum signature to include his quote that he was never. And I don't know. He may try again. I wish the best of luck to him, but he's just got to know I'm going to keep coming back. So someone else.
Kevin's good people.
No, he's a good guy. I'm just saying it's going to get competitive if he does it. But I did recently. Another guy took my NBA Jam, regular NBA Jam for Genesis. These people love the Genesis version, which I don't because they're extremely buggy. But and I'm probably making a lot of people mad saying that. I've just played it a ton. So, yeah.
Can you describe the two? Because I don't play the SNES much, so tell me the differences. I know people we were talking about that a little bit last week too.
I mean, I would say that graphically, and this is kind of a shocker, the Genesis is better graphically as far as being faithful to the arcade port, and it does have the in-game music. But I like the SNES because there's not as many bugs. For example, when I made some world record attempts in the Genesis version, I had to reset the game a few times when I was making some good runs because what would happen is I would miss a shot if you missed a layup, and which is supposed to be 2 points, and it's bouncing around the rim, and one of the CPUs knocks it into the hoop. It counted it as 3 points, and so that was a bug. Even though it should have been 2 points no matter what.
So that wouldn't count on Twin Galaxies?
No, that would be considered a glitch, and you wouldn't. They wouldn't accept that.
That's interesting because I thought something like that where it's not like you're manipulating that glitch. That's just kind of like how Tecmo you can get the safety sometimes when you throw in the end zone. Yeah,
but you're not allowed to do that in Twin Galaxies either. I tied the Tecmo Bowl world record on that one, and you can't do that. And
interesting.
So yeah, with NBA Jam, in the Genesis version, there's a few bugs like that, and so yeah, I just prefer the SNES version. So,
what do you think? Because you played them so much religiously. What the one thing we were talking about last week was what did DT say was easier to hit threes in SNES, or was the other one, Tom?
Yeah,
do you remember?
Super Nintendo's easier to hit 3-pointers.
Would you agree with that, Hal?
Somewhat. I think what's called rubber band AI is harder in the Genesis. Even if you have it turned off, it'll still kind of exist.
Really?
So I have a much better score in the SNES version or point differential than I do in the Genesis version, just because the rubber band AI is so much tougher. And in the original Genesis NBA Jam, I don't know if it's a bug or not. I guess it could be considered a bug. Is there's a spot, and this is the only way you can really get the world record is there's a spot, and everyone who's tried to set the world record does this. Is there's a spot in the middle of the paint. If you stand right there in the right section, you can goaltend every time, and it doesn't count as a goaltend.
Oh wow!
And so but if you try that in the exact same thing in the SNES version, you can't do that. It counts it as goaltending. So
that's interesting. Obviously, I always thought they were pretty close together compared to like NHL '94. How different those two are. But that's good. That's good points.
I'd say they're very different. I also like, I like the way you can hold the turbo on the shoulder button too with the SNES. So that I don't like playing with a Genesis controller arcade style. I like holding it like the SNES. So
yeah, I like Sega because I own 20 Segas. So that's where I'm
I
Well,
own
you
about 50, so we're in the same box. Boat,
Wow. Well, you beat me. You beat me in the dick measuring.
Well, I want to have some big Genesis tournaments someday, man. So you got to have a lot. So
You guys got a lot of bugs to clean out of those Genesises, it sounds like. All those glitches. We got a jokester in the chat right now. Rogue Gamer says, tell this Hell guy, Billy Mitchell sent me a tape, which I will release at the end of the stream.
oh my goodness. Is it a copy of a copy of a copy?
What actually did he do? I'm kind of looped. Was he just manipulating a video? Was that what he did?
A meme, yeah.
He used MAME to
They
set
showed
it
the
up.
transition screens, and so his records were done on emulation instead of safe states, splice video together, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, so he did that, or is it just that he did it in MAME and said it wasn't? He hasn't confessed, or
He says it's legit.
He has admitted it. The evidence proves otherwise.
I don't think it matters at this point. The information came out. He was at the Midwest Gaming Classic, and people were still loving him.
Well, he was even joking about it.
Well,
with
that hair is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
he's legit. That's you gotta love that style, man.
Wasn't he selling
awesome.
shirts too about it?
Man.
Was he really?
Yeah, a buddy of mine from Dallas went up there and got a "I Got MAME" shirt from him.
Oh, any publicity is good publicity in this day and age.
Yeah.
All right, Hal. So the Retro World Series, how does the point system work for, like the grand champion of the whole thing?
Well, I spent a lot of time creating a point system, which I look at it. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the PGA Tour, the FedEx Cup, and you get a certain amount of points based on how well you do in different types of events, and some events hold more importance than others, and you get more points depending on what events you're in. And so I set up the system where you get a certain number of points based on how you do, whether it's single elimination or double elimination, and it also depends on turnout. So even if you win a tournament in a 16-man tournament, you're not going to get as many points as if you won a 32-man tournament. So you're rewarded more if you have to play more to win. And so it's a little complicated to keep track of, but I've got it pretty smoothed out to where I can keep track of it. And so you definitely want to play in the tournaments that have a higher turnout and hope to do well, because you'll get more points that way. But it also encourages you to play in more tournaments.
So your tournaments mostly are at these gaming conventions,
right?
And as we found out at the Midwest Gaming Classic, they all have different rules and regulations depending on the state. So do your tournaments have cash prizes? I know you have some pretty awesome trophies. Does it vary from each tournament?
It varies. Sometimes we'll have paid entries. Now, of course, Wisconsin has weird gambling laws that apply to Midwest Gaming Classic, but not Tecmo Madison. But most of the conventions like it that I keep them free so that everyone has the opportunity to play, because I'm working with these conventions on these tournaments. It's a great partnership to have with these guys. And, but other times we'll either have standalone tournaments that require entry fees, or some, conventions are cool with having entry fees, because a lot of the modern tournaments have entry fees. And so it really is up to the convention, and I try to accommodate.
So say like you had a 32-man Super Smash Brothers and you have entry fees. Do they get a portion of that, like, as prizes?
Yes, if it's legal, yeah.
Okay, I see. So let's see, what do we got here? Let's recap your Level Up Expo, because this is what you were saying is the Super Bowl of your whole series here. It starts early. It's kind of like the Daytona 500. Uh, it was in Las Vegas. You had multiple tournaments going.
Right.
So first of all, just give us an overall recap of how it went, and then we'll go over some of the tournament winners.
Yeah, I think it went pretty well for the first time there. I wish we'd had a little more time to announce that we were going to be in Vegas, but we got it all figured out with the convention organizers a little later than hoped. But they did say they want us back, so that's good. And we had over 140 entries, and we had 6 tournaments: Killer Instinct, Pokemon Stadium, Smash 64, Mario Kart 64, Super Turbo, and turnout was pretty good. Super Turbo, like I was telling you all before this started, we had a 2-time Evo champion play in it. Finished runner up, and that was really cool. He was a cool guy.
Super Turbo Street Fighter, is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
So, we had a few firsts for tournaments. We never had a Tekken 2 tournament before, and the turnout was good for that. And we never had a Pokemon Stadium tournament before, and turnout was pretty good for that too. I think next year we'll change it up a little bit. Maybe have Tecmo maybe have Tecmo Vegas at Level Up Expo. Who knows?
Is Smash Brothers your biggest draw?
Most of the time, yes. It was not at this one, but the biggest tournament I ever had was Smash 64 tournament at Classic Game Fest in Austin, and that was a full 64-man tournament.
Yeah.
So
that's a little young for me. I kind of didn't get into that, so I don't understand it. But that seems to be the big deal. That Smash Brothers.
Right.
You get into Smash, Kamish?
No, I just cry and get my ass kicked at Bond. That's all I did with.
Yeah,
no, Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, the wrestling too. The wrestling's fucking clutch. All the
Mercy, baby.
WWF games.
Yeah, for sure. I played the crap out of those too. So Hal, I have a few tournaments that may or may not have taken place. Did you have a Killer Instinct one?
Oh yeah, we definitely did.
And how did that one go? Who won it, and maybe the top 2 or 3?
I was running the stream, so I didn't have the great opportunities to get to sit down and meet the guys. The guy that won it, he dominated, and that happens a lot. We've had plenty of Killer Instinct tournaments where one guy just comes out of nowhere and just kills everyone. And
what was his character choice?
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at the stream. I think that was on our first day. I don't remember that one exactly, but he only lost 2 rounds or 2 matches throughout the whole thing. So that was pretty impressive. And did he use Orchid? I don't remember who he used. I'd have to go back and look at the stream there. But
you guys remember? I was reading something on Killer Instinct and how it's kind of regional. It's really huge in one spot. Like Tecmo is really big in the Midwest. Did you guys know, is Killer Instinct bigger in one part of the country than another part? Or am I?
Well, I think a lot of retro like arcades in general were huge.
Okay.
In the Midwest because they had ports, and I mean, as you guys know, you spend a lot of time in the winter because it's like 9 months long in Wisconsin and surrounding areas. That you spend a lot of time indoors waiting for it to warm up.
Well, we've never had a bad Killer Instinct tournament, and we've had one in Houston, we've had one in Austin, Vegas, and we had one at Midwest Gaming Classic back in 2016. And that guy who showed up was the greatest Killer Instinct player I've ever seen. I don't think he lost a single round. It was that dominant, and he was doing like 20 hit combos, no problem. And he just showed up out of nowhere and did that. So I think Killer Instinct's kind of all over the place. I think I like I said, I've never had a bad tournament with that. So
yeah, there's definitely some fans of Killer Instinct. I would say as far as retro fighting games, it hovers in like the 3rd place territory behind Mortal Kombat and the Street Fighter series. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, it's not going to get you a 32-man bracket, but there's usually no reason to not get a 16-man bracket for Killer Instinct.
But fun fact: first time I ever played Killer Instinct was when you were at Tecmo Madison, and I was playing Josh, trying to figure out the buttons. So that's my experience with Killer Instinct. I gotta stop because I kind of got ADD. What is the thing behind you, Hal, that keeps changing? It's lit. Oh, that's my video. Is that my face?
I think it's a mirror.
It's a mirror.
No, that's my diploma.
I'm trying to figure that out. I thought it was a fish tank.
No, that's one of my diplomas.
I'm good now. I'm good.
Squirrel.
Other than, yeah.
Tripped out. Twilight Zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, me in your background?
Yeah, now when I talk, I can see myself. I'm going to talk a lot more now.
I didn't realize that was that.
He has a picture of you framed next to his bed.
Yeah, as long as you're not looking at porn, Hal, be careful. We'll see it.
So one of the other big tournaments you had there was Super Smash Brothers. So who were the finalists in there? Did you catch those guys or?
Yeah, let me pull those results up. That was, again, you've got guys that just show up and just dominate. And, I thought that was a pretty good one. I thought turnout would be better, but I think because it was on a Friday night, it could have been better. Everyone, with Smash 64, you generally don't see a lot of diversity and character choices. There's really like the top tier is generally four characters, and you'll see Pikachu a whole lot, and that's what you saw last. The guy who won it, I believe, used Pikachu the whole time, and he just dominated. And the runner-up he switched. He ended up using Ness, and it just wasn't even close. So, you'll see Pikachu a whole lot. He's probably the top guy in Smash 64, if not one of the top.
Yeah, he's the character that I like to use in Super Smash Brothers.
He was a lot of fun. But I was a Captain Falcon dude, but he's not that great. But he was just fun to play. So
Falcon Punch.
Yeah, exactly. I loved that. So
yeah, you know what? Playing Super Smash Brothers, all the different versions of it. Throughout the versions, by the time we got to Smash Wii U, Pikachu's not as good as he is in the Nintendo 64 version. So,
and beyond Smash 64, I don't have much knowledge. I'm not a Melee player. I don't know. I've played Melee maybe one time. So,
so were there any other tournaments that you had to report results on from Vegas?
Mario Kart 64 was fun. The guy won it. Eric Salas. He won 2 tournaments. He was a pretty good player, and what we did was we had it was 2-player up until the finals, and we had the top 4 play it out, and he dominated. He won it without even making it to the last race. He had already clinched it, and so he called it quits and let the other guys finish it out for second place. And so that was he was good. He came very close. If he had done better in one more tournament, he would have been very. He probably. I haven't finished the calculations yet, but he's probably finished second or third for Player of the Year based on all the tournaments he played in it, just at Vegas, because he did so well in all of them.
So you brought up Player of the Year. What does Player of the Year usually get in the Retro World Series?
As far as an award?
Yeah, like a prize award.
We do have a custom-made trophy. You've seen the trophies. I don't know if you have or not, but if you've seen the trophies we've handed out for tournaments, it's the same trophy that SSD Ninja got last year. It's a big trophy, and it's nice. And we want people to give people awards that they can show off on the mantle. We don't want a garage sale trophy that we just repurpose or anything like that. We want nice trophies that people can take home and be proud of. So, and that's no offense to anybody else. It's just I want I want the best kind of trophies out there, and that's why we custom make them. They cost about $100 a piece. So
give it man.
So
We've had that same approach with
not everyone wants to do that. That's fine, but I like having really great prizes for people. So
yeah, what kind of person do you have to be to buy someone's used trophy at a garage sale?
I'm still looking. Hey, everybody, all the listeners are still looking for the Shannon trophy from Tecmo. I stopped at every truck stop. I couldn't find it at the last Madison.
Oh man. All right, so now that we've recapped your tournament, one of the things we want to hear about is the rest of the Retro World Series lineup and the Tecmo Tour.
Right. What do you want to hear about first? We got a great lineup. We're going to be at Southern Fraud Gaming Expo and Too Many Games in Philly. Southern Fraud Gaming Expo is in Atlanta, and then we're going to be in Philly in June. Southern Fraud's 9th through the 11th, and then the Too Many Games is the 20th through the 22nd, I believe. And then the next month will be at Let's Play Gaming Expo in Dallas. This will be our 3rd year in a row there. We'll be returning in August to Game On Expo in Phoenix. We're working on being at Gamicon. That's still not for sure yet. We have a verbal agreement with the guys, but we're still working out the details, which is why I went ahead and announced Tecmo Atlantic City. That'll be in October, and then we're going to have a standalone Tecmo tournament in New Orleans on September 8th, the day before NFL opening day.
That's awesome. You're teaming up with Gerald Smith, Suicide King, right?
Oh yeah, he's going to be there, and he's going to be in Atlanta too. So
we got from the chat, Rogue Gamers ask him about Philly Tecmo and AC details.
In what details?
I'm not sure what he means by AC, but he said ask him about Philly Tecmo.
Well, it's going to be at Too Many Games. It's going to be on that Saturday. We're getting, for each Tecmo tournament, we're going to have custom trophies made, just like what we do at the Retro World Series main event. They're going to be a little bit smaller, but they're going to be custom for each event. So I've got a design for the Tecmo Philly one that's got it's shaped like a bell, and it's really cool, I think. So it'd be something that'd be well worth coming and trying to compete for.
When you're doing all these Tecmo tournaments, be careful because we're a rowdy bunch. We were doing.
I was at Madison. I saw how rowdy y'all got. So
yeah, the funny part is our large mayhem. We were doing this 2D con last year. They wouldn't let us back in this year. We're going to a bar. We were too rowdy.
So Tecmo NOLA, I should cancel it being at a brewery. That's asking for trouble.
Oh no, that'll be good. That's good. That's good.
Oh, that's prime for it. I'm looking forward to see how that standalone tournament goes for you.
Right. Well, I know that people have been asking me to bring Tecmo to Houston, and right now I haven't been able to plan that one out yet. But hopefully New Orleans will get. It's not that far, and so maybe a lot of people will come from Houston. And I know a few people that play Tecmo in New Orleans, so hopefully it'll be a good event.
And the chat's clarified by. Go ahead, Troy.
Bible Belt locked down for Tecmo. That was really an underdeveloped area.
Well, like I said, we're trying to be in Philly, which is definitely not the South, and Atlantic City as well. And my goal is to end. I know we were going to talk about it a little bit more, but end Tecmo Tour in Vegas next year. So
awesome. The chat's clarified that by AC they meant ask them about Atlantic City. And
okay.
And is it just Tecmo, and what's the buy-in?
For Atlantic City, we haven't. It's not going to be. None of them are just going to be Tecmo. We're going to have a lot of other tournaments. We're going to have NHL '94 at Tecmo Philly. Tentatively, like I said, Atlantic City's still in the works right now. I'll have an answer on that by May 31st. But we'll have NHL '94 there as well. We'll probably have Smash 64 and maybe Third Strike. At Philadelphia, at Philly, we're going to have, like I said, we're going to have NHL '94. Let me pull out that list real quick, guys. We've got so many tournaments. Let's see here.
Let me ask you before, are you guys going to be using the same rule set that you
sorry?
during using the same rule set for 94 that you used that big event you were in?
You sound like OK Computer on Radiohead right now, Troy. Faster, stronger.
Yeah, for all the hard times Troy gives us about our video and sound quality.
He's pimped out.
Really got to stick it to him this time.
I'm on earbuds, guys. I got to stay near the baby tonight, so I'm in my mobile for him.
No.
Yeah, you got to be good on Mom's Day, that's for sure.
But no, for NHL 94, we modified the rules to be pretty much identical to King of 94 rules, and it's going to be for Genesis as well. For too many games, we're going to have Tetris Attack Tournament. We're going to have Frogs and Flies. It's also called Frog Bog. I don't know if you remember. Have any of y'all seen Grandma's Boy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that we're going to have that tournament. I don't know if
I don't remember that. It's been a long time.
You don't remember he gets challenged by one of the younger testers, and a game where the frogs are flying across and trying to.
Oh, okay. That's an actual game.
Yeah, no, that's a real game.
Oh, okay.
It's called Frogs and Flies or Frog Bog. And we're going to have Mortal Kombat 2, Mario Kart 64, and then we're going to have a Super Famicom fighting game tournament that's called Sailor Moon S. So that'll be a good one. So
Mortal Kombat 2.
Right.
We got a question from the chat. They want to know when's the next NBA Jam tournament, which
Oh boy. Well, I don't think we have one scheduled right now. Let's see. I don't think we're having one at Game On. We might. Let's see. No, we're not having one at Game On. I'll have to let you know. We don't have one planned right now. So, but if you want to play, I'll bring a copy and we can play. So.
The public is hungry for it. They're hungry. DT got.
We've had one successful NBA Jam tournament and that was a game in Phoenix last year, and I actually played in that. So, but yeah, that was a decent turnout. But so far, we haven't had a whole lot of NBA Jam.
Yeah, I think with NBA Jam, it's tough to figure out which specific version people would like to play. Obviously, Genesis is the most economical version to bring all the Genesis and all the games. But I think ideally, it would be the arcade cabinet, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's I tried to do a standalone NBA Jam tournament once, and so I posted on some forums that we were going to have a 1v1 and a 2v2 tournament, and everyone got just mad. They were like, "Oh, why aren't you doing the Genesis version? Why aren't you doing the Saturn version? Why aren't you doing the PlayStation version? Even or the 32X version, which I have, and it's a good port." Even someone was like, well, I can't believe you're not having an Atari Jaguar NBA Jam tournament. That's the best version.
That's Tom. Was his name Tom S? When he replied, was it Tom S?
That was 3 years ago. So
that wasn't me.
But yeah, it may have been. You may have been one of those haters. So
yeah.
But, I'm actually curious. I'm gonna see if I can even find that.
Yeah, you got to be a special kind of person to get an Atari Jaguar, an NBA Jam TE cart, a Jaguar Team Tap, and 4 Jaguar controllers just so you can play NBA Jam TE on the Atari.
What would that set you back, Tom? Just do the math. Computer, do the math. If I wanted to do that all just to play games.
I don't think I bought late in the Jaguar eBay life cycle, but not too late. I would say overall it's about $200.
Here's the life cycle of the Jaguar. Beep.
Well, those games have gotten expensive. I've been wanting to get an Jam port for that, and they run about $50 to $100. So depending on the day, so they're really expensive.
It's nuts. We're trying to revive this art, and all these motherfuckers are just playing Fortnite. Millions of people playing Fortnite right now when they should be playing these games.
No, it was not. It was not you that said recommended that complained about it. No, it was someone else. It was on Sega.
Probably Tom.
Look at him going back to the
friends
tape.
with that guy.
Some guy named Neovamp. So who knows?
Okay. All right. So I have to ask you, what was your motivation behind running the Tecmo Tour besides for it just being a popular game? The Tecmo.
Well, I mean, it's my goal is to have retro tournaments, and not just a few, but all kinds of retro tournaments. And Tecmo Super Bowl is retro, and it's a very popular game, and that's one of the goals. I don't want to have tournaments for games that everyone hates. I want games that everyone is going to want to. That a lot of people are going to want to play and have fun with and compete. And so that it seemed like a good step, especially since there's a lot of Tecmo players across the country, but most of the tournaments are in one or two regions. And
the Tecmo belt.
yeah, and they're very exclusive. That they don't really it's not like a league or anything. They're all standalone. And so I wanted to create an incentive for people to play even more Tecmo. It's not just what's in February and March. It's Tecmo should be all year round and enjoyed all year round.
Yeah, you're creating an incentive for me to get divorced if I went to more tournaments.
Is it the travel or the money?
Like you need incentive.
Right? It used to be the money, and then I got married. Now it's the travel.
Oh, okay, all right. I was about to say, I mean, I can start booking rooms, blocks of rooms, and we just have people, show up. So
you need to have a daycare and a spa for the wives too. Otherwise, I can only make it.
I know. Troy definitely needs that. So that's the only way to get into Vegas.
Oh.
So.
All right. So let's see. So how many events are there going to be in the Tecmo Tour?
Well, we're having Tecmo Atlanta at Southern Fried Gaming Expo, Tecmo Philly at Too Many Games. We're going to have Tecmo Phoenix at Game On Expo, Tecmo NOLA at the NOLA Brewing Company in New Orleans. And, like I said, tentatively, we're having Tecmo Atlantic City at GameCon. And so, and then hopefully we'll have, end of season, so to speak, big Tecmo tournament in Vegas at Level Up Expo next year. So,
and then what was the decision behind creating your own stat tracking base for the Tecmo Tour?
Well, I mean, there are a few websites that do it, and mainly, they're a little more detailed because they do emulators, and so you're able to record it and keep track of stats a little bit better. And you're limited into how you can keep stats, with live tournaments and in-person tournaments. And so we wanted to create a way that we could keep track of stats because, we want to have player profiles. Ultimately, I want to have player profiles that cover all the tournaments, all the different types of games they've played. It requires a lot of work, but I think Tecmo Super Bowl would be a good standpoint of creating a database where players can go, okay, this guy likes these matchups. He tends to, be more run heavy. Where you can kind of get an idea who your opponent is, just like any other sport.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think it's a good idea. I like the visuals that you've created so far in the Tecmo Tour. Everything looks top notch, more than I've able to do with the tournament I'm running here in Chicago. So
hardcore, baby, hardcore.
I just copy and paste a crusty old hardcore belt from the WWF. There you go.
Who broke it with a hammer? Who was the guy who broke the belt? And wasn't that originally a WWF belt and the guy broke it and then it was hardcore?
The sledgehammer. I don't know who it was. It could have been Hardcore Holly, Mankind.
Oh, man. Is he dead? Is Holly dead?
I think one of them is deceased.
Crash is dead.
I think both of them are.
Yeah.
Rough life, man, that wrestling.
I don't wish
you can flip a coin every time you see a wrestler for 20 years ago if he's still alive.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I don't wish that on anybody playing in the Chicago hardcore tournament. You know, I think it will be much. It won't be that crazy. And we got Adam in the chat asking, "What about an NFL Blitz tournament?"
You know, we've talked about doing that. I've got all the carts to do an NFL Blitz tournament. Just got to find the right event to do it. You know, that's kind of the issue is that we can only have 6 or 7 tournaments per event. So you're limited to what you can do. Now, like I said, I can bring the carts. If people want to do a standalone, their own little NFL Blitz tournament, we try to be flexible there. It may not be on the big screen and be streamed, but we can definitely have that. We've had some conventions, bring up that idea, and that might be something we have at Let's Play Gaming Expo because we really want to get Tim Kitzrow to come and announce the games at that one. And so if we do, someone else asked about NBA Jam tournaments. If we can get him to show up at Let's Play Gaming Expo, we would probably have an NBA Jam and NFL Blitz tournament. And he would provide commentary for it.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. Hope you could pull that one off.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to hear back from the organizers on that one. So, I mean, we're definitely going to be at Let's Play. We're just, figuring out what tournaments we want to have.
And one more question about the Tecmo Tour before we get to some discussion topics. What is the format going to be? Is it going to be like round robin into single elimination, or is it to be decided on each tournament?
It really depends on turnout. If turnout's low, we want to guarantee people can play quite a few matches. And so what we'll do is we'll have 4-man round robin groups, and that way everyone's guaranteed three matches or 3 games. And then the top 2 will advance to single elimination. Now, if it's a big tournament, we may, where time's a constraint, we may just do a double elimination tournament. So,
cool. And then anything else that you want to say about the Retro World Series or Tecmo Tour?
No, I think we've covered quite a bit right now. I just hope people go to retroworldseries.com and see our schedule or follow us on Facebook and Twitter because we're always putting out new stuff. So,
cool.
Yeah. We're also going to try and create some really cool Tecmo Tour gear like hats and stuff that people can get. So,
oh, nice. Yeah, no, I really like the logo for that. It kind of reminds me of the NBA logo. I'm sure that had some inspiration to do with it.
A little bit, yeah.
But it's basically just the one of the cut scenes from Tecmo, the guy spiking the football.
I heard it's Jerry West spiking the football.
I just sent you the mock-up of the hats on Facebook, Tom, and you'll see kind of what they're going to look like. So
yeah, no, for sure. Send those over to me. I'd love to take a look at them. All right, so I got a few things for discussion topics today. The first one's a question, and we'll start with Troy. Since we can't
okay.
Without question, John Madden Football has been the most successful football game, video game series of all time. But which version of Madden stands out from the rest as a retro tournament-ready game?
Well, I think you get from the 16-bit version and just throw in the trash. I think that they don't translate well from a fun standpoint. To say probably, and I guess it depends on what you define as retro. The 2005 version is really good for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good choice. Kamish, what do you think?
Well, the whole thing, I got quite a few Madden 92s because when you're buying in bulk, like other games, they'll like throw 10 Madden 92s in there. But yeah, they don't even have names, I think, in 92, so it doesn't do it. So if you're doing Genesis, the only way you could do is you use the engine and use Mutant League Football because that's just a real fun game.
Yeah.
The game I played the most was 2006. Was that when Vic was nuts? That's the one that I think a lot of people connect
That was
with.
2004, I believe.
Was that 4? Okay, that's the one I think with everybody who, I think it's like QB Eagles. Everybody talks about Vic and Madden. I think if you're gonna hit a sweet spot, PS2, at least for me in my generation, it'd be that.
What do you think, Hal?
Man, I was not a Madden fan early on because it was just too slow. The frame rate was terrible. But I played '08 a lot because that was when I got my 360. And
We got to do who's on the cover because that's the only way I can separate. Was that Vince Young on the cover?
Man, I'd have to go downstairs and look. No, let's see. Maybe it was Madden. Let's see. Was it Madden 08? Because that was Vince Young. You know, he was part of the curse. So
yeah.
Were
you a passing cone guy or a non-passing cone guy?
I definitely was a passing guy.
Oh yeah, passing cone guy. Now I know I can file you in a separate area.
Well, you brought up Mutant League Football. They're actually coming out with a new version. I think it's called Mutant Football League.
It's already out. Yeah,
and so I think, and I was talking about Tim Kitzrow. I think he's actually a part of that or voicing it. And
he was there at Midwest Gaming Classic, pimping that next.
Yeah, and so we're looking at maybe having a tournament for that. I don't know if I'd be running it or someone else would be running it, but we may have a tournament for that at Let's Play Gaming Expo as well. So,
Tom, you played that quite a bit. Could that translate to tournament-ready stuff?
I think so. I have to play it more in depth to see just how competitive it can be. They have their own Discord, and they run tournaments. I haven't seen too much on PS4. It's mainly been PC or Xbox. But the game's a lot of fun. It's quick arcade action. It's something that guys that play these retro games would definitely enjoy for sure. Mm-hmm. I just haven't got to the point where I've played someone where I know it's like a competitive game. I've played one of the guys in the chat right now, Rogue Gamer, and we went back and forth a couple times, but it's hard for me to tell how competitive it is, but it's certainly a fun game. And there's a lot of things like Mutant League Football on the Genesis that's still in this game where you have to bribe the ref. You got all these special plays. Mm-hmm. So it's a fun game for sure. I could definitely see it being a success at one of these tournaments for sure. So we talked about the Madden games. I'm right in the wheelhouse of what Troy and Nick were talking about. I think the best versions for a retro tournament would be 2003 to 2005. 2003 is my favorite one of all time. That was the first one that was online on the PS2 with Marshall Faulk on the cover. The soundtrack is great. The gameplay is great. 2004 had Michael Vick on the cover, very, very similar to 03. And then 2005, the thing people like about that game specifically is that was the introduction of the hit stick.
Yeah, that's it. There it is. There's the golden. That's where we achieve. There's the delta.
Yeah. So 2005 may be the one because of that, because I think the hit stick is cool. You just flick the stick and you could perform a harder hit on the guys. 2006, that was brought up. That one, that was the end of Madden for me because that was the one.
I don't know if I don't know.
Sean
Alexander, yeah. That one.
He was 07, wasn't he?
I could be wrong. I'm sorry. Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, McNabb was. Yeah.
Okay. So
shout out to Seneca Wallace right now because I always drafted him in dynasty leagues because he was fast.
Yeah.
I went at him. And this year, Seneca's going to take me, or Seneca. Sorry. Is it Seneca or Seneca?
Seneca Wallace.
He's watching right in the chat. Right in the chat, Seneca.
Troy would know. He was on the Packers for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Not very long.
Yeah. No, he's like a 5'9" dude that was quick. Yeah, I could see why you would pick them. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, 2006 was the introduction of the QB Vision.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck the Vision.
And the thing about the QB Vision is they forced you to use it online. So once they did that, I was done with the series. I never went back to it seriously after that.
They actually got rid of it. I just don't remember what year.
Yeah, they got rid of it, but obviously 03 to 05, they didn't change much at all, and they didn't have to because it was a good game. And then they were reaching for stuff in 06.
I get the vision cone because Peyton Manning wasn't as good as he was just as good as other guys with the accuracy, it felt like. So I see why they were trying to do the vision, but just what didn't work.
Yeah.
Part of the issue too was when they made Generation Jump, your Xbox 360, they forced you to buy the 360 version, that original 06 360 version. They didn't know how to program for the system.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
All right, next question for you guys. There are established retro gaming tournaments that represent the 4 major sports in the U.S. Baseball with RBI Baseball, football with Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl, basketball with NBA Jam, and hockey with NHL 94 and 95.
Oh, thank you for throwing me the crumb, Tom.
Yeah. So what is the retro sports game that should represent the most popular sport in the world, that is soccer?
Oh,
Yeah, that's a great
Nintendo World
point.
Cup. Nintendo World Cup all the way.
Nintendo World Cup. What is that for? Original Nintendo?
Yeah. That
I don't
game,
think I've played that.
that game is amazing. I love
Is
that
that
game.
the one that looked like Double Dragon?
It was made by the same company. So
Okay,
yeah,
I played that.
yeah, no, like you can like knock the players out enough to where they just lay on the ground the whole time for the half.
There's only like 4 or 5 guys on a team, right? If I
No,
remember.
there's I believe there's 6 or 7 on the field, but you can also sub in. So and they have different strengths and weaknesses and different types of super shots. So
No, it's good. It's like dodgeball, and they refined it without the flicker as much.
yeah, it's same people made it, but I mean there's some flicker in it, but it's still a great game. So
Goal ain't bad either for when it was made. The original NES goal, that was good. But I was trying to look because since I have my 10 Segas, I don't have my 50 like Hal over here. But but I was trying to figure out like what FIFA game for Genesis or SNES would be the 16-bit pinnacle.
well, I don't think the FIFA games were that great until later on because you had Sensible Soccer, which was I think a lot of people think I can't remember which one, but I know Sensible Soccer was considered pretty good. And then there was what was it, International Soccer, or it was what was it called? It was on the 64.
We got I think it's in the chat. King of
International Superstar. That's right.
International Superstar Deluxe on Super Nintendo.
Right. That was considered a pretty good one. Better than FIFA at the time.
Or FIFA 99.
I gotta put it out for the FIFA on PC DOS. All the 16-bit versions of FIFA that were out, graphically, audio-wise, I thought it played just a heck of a lot better. And my old 486 wrote a lot of time in that game. And it's a really not ended title, but it's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know what you just said, but I agree with you.
Hey,
You seriously couldn't hear any of that?
Well, you're chopping.
it's OK Computer. That's one song you skip when you're listening to OK Computer, and you're like, it was so good. And then you got to skip that one song, like song 8.
FIFA Soccer DOS was
Really?
way better than the Super Nintendo and the Genesis versions.
I've heard Mario Strikers is good. I've just never had the chance to play it. So
Yeah, no, that's one of the guys in the chat said that. It's a really fun game. I believe I traded it in at some point, but that was a good one. I had a lot of fun with it because the guys all have different skills.
Mario Tennis, that's clutch.
oh, we're having a Mario Tennis tournament in Phoenix.
That's fun. That's a fun game. Hey, guys, I'm going to go piss off my porch real quick. Just keep going.
Keep it classy here.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say for soccer games, what King 94 said, FIFA 99's one I played a lot, but honestly, that's one of the few that I played that I really liked. So I really can't say that for sure is one of the best. But what you said, Hal, Nintendo World Cup, I just played that game for the first time recently, expecting it to kind of suck just because it was a soccer game and what the cover art looked like. I'm like, well, let's just give this a shot. I play sports games, and then I played it. I'm like, whoa, this is like River City Ransom soccer. Like, this is how I wish soccer was played. Like, you could just punch people, knock them over. They lay on the ground until there's a goal scored. It's an awesome game. It
was in NFL Blitz for soccer before there was NFL Blitz.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I could hear you guys while I was peeing. That's a really cheap game to get too, on the whole eBay thing. It comes dual pack with the best game, Super Spike V-Ball, which would be a great game to play too.
Another good game. I like that game. So.
No, Kings of Beat shit, Tom. Kings of Beat. Driving ass.
I have to admit, I have some more retro volleyball to be played before I can confidently argue.
I don't know if there's really another volleyball game I'd want to play besides Super Spike. It's a good game. So
it's one of those meathead games. It's all about tapping at the end of the day, which I suck at. So,
but I think the great thing about Nintendo World Cup is it's a simple game, but it has a lot of nuances to it, and there is some strategy to it, and so it's not too simple where it's too easy, but it's not too hard where entry level people couldn't come in and just play. So,
all right. So there was an announcement made by Mort not too long ago about the Tecmo Players Championship, and basically what this is, it's going to be a high buy-in Tecmo Super Bowl tournament, $150 entry fee with large cash payouts. So what do you guys think about this? Is this something that's been coming a long time? That in Tecmo, like, do we need a tournament that has high buy-in, high cash payouts? It seems like to me people are playing all year round, so it kind of makes sense as an established game. What do you guys think?
Well, I think what you end up is with the tournaments that I go to is you get a certain percentage of really good players, and then you get a bunch of tournament feeders. And what ends up happening is the top guys are making a minimal investment with the high percentage something off the top there with the victory. No guys are just there to drink beers and play Tecmo. Well, on this, high stakes all around. $150 is no joke. Discourage the walking in and being a part of it, and should draw only the finest of talent.
I don't see how turnout would be that great, just because I agree with him. I don't see how the social Tecmo players that just go to have fun are going to play in that. I mean, where is it? I wasn't even aware of that.
Well, it's going to be in Chicago, but it's not meant to draw in a lot of players. It's meant to draw in at least 24 players. So you're basically.
When was this announced?
Mort announced it. I released a video for him on my channel. It was like maybe 2 weeks ago, I want to say.
Oh, okay. So I wonder if they want to compete with me now or something like that. I don't know.
It has anything to do with it at all. I think it is.
Mort's an immovable force. Once Mort's going, everybody gets behind Mort.
I think Mort wants to do something that essentially like the bracket experience at a Madison without the 12-hour wait because of events, that kind of thing.
I think it's more too to like promote travel, because if you're gonna pay $150 and have a huge cash payout, and then you're gonna play a bunch of games guaranteed against top talent. I mean, there's an argument to be said, even if you're like a very good Tecmo Super Bowl player, just paying $150 to play that many games versus top talent is going to be a good experience for you. So I think it's a good idea all around, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Here's my thing. Well, one, and it's too bad about Mort's grandpa, but not a good way to start an announcement talking about how your grandpa's dying and then talk about a tournament. But hey, thoughts and prayers to Mort. But like it's like I am not a top player by any means, but I could almost be wrangled in just because I'd love to play like a long form, like what the guys do in the Pacific Northwest, where they get together for a weekend and play, or like those guys who play like Marathon Tecmo 3 tournaments. Like I would love just to go and play, and not worry about 200 other people. Just play with, because I mean that's why I come to the Tecmo things in general, just to see the 30 guys I've got a friendship with. So. Well, more than that, guys. I like y'all, but it's fun to see people, and that's why I would go. I would have no reservations of trying to make money on that thing. It's a little stiff, but if I'm going to Chicago, what's another $150? At the end of the day.
Right. Cool. All right. One other thing that I wanted to recap. I brought up the Simulation League last time we met. the All Pro 2K8 that they use, the Simulation FL or Simulation NFL, however you want to pronounce it. They had their championship game on Twitch. I believe it was late last month or early this month. They had quite the viewership. When I tuned in, they had over 3,000 people viewing. They had one undefeated team going. It was their 10th season. The Tallahassee Pride lost 34-23 to the Alaska Storm. And what I could say about their league is they have one of the most active Discord chats I've ever seen. It's really hard to keep up in there, but I don't know if any of you guys tuned in. I brought it up last time. Troy, did you take a look at it? Or
no, I haven't had a chance.
I'm intrigued. I haven't got there yet, though.
Hell, have you heard about this?
No, this is news to me.
Okay. Well, yeah, so I just wanted to report the results of that. That league is always looking to expand. And let's talk about some upcoming tournaments. So in less than a week, we got a couple tournaments. The first one is and we talked about this last time, is the Wayne, New Jersey tournament, the Jersey Cup. One of their big things, they have this new cup that they created, which I'm guessing the tournament winner is going to get their name stitched on there. It looks like they already got quite a crowd for the tournament. Last I saw reported, it was like 32 players, so
nice.
They could draw more than
Good
that.
for them. I think it's their first to go at it. So
yeah,
I talked to Devil Greg. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, so
great nickname, by the way, Deviled Greg, like deviled egg. I like it.
So yeah, that's a standalone Tecmo.
This 8-bit Tecmo profile picture, so Tecmo profile with the horns coming out.
Yeah, that could be enough to scare some people away.
Yeah, good.
As long as you don't know them through techmobile.org, you should be good. The other tournament happening that day is the Tupa Bowl for Kevin Cavarella's organizer. I just signed up for that last week. I'm excited to go. And Troy, what's that?
You bringing a stream setup with you?
I'm bringing a what setup?
Your stream, your equipment for streaming.
I don't believe so. I'm coming solo. Well, I'm coming with my friend who's not playing in the tournament. I kind of just want to play and focus on that. You know, I want to try to do well.
So,
you're going to be there on a stream, though, right? So,
representing TGFN Retro, I'll be calling the play-by-play on there, flying from Green Bay.
Wow,
and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, so bringing our line, making sure everything is super dialed. It'll sound a lot better than the microphone I'm talking on right now. That's for sure.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I can only hear about half.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to have to go ahead and. I'm going to just do it on this microphone right here.
I don't know what you're saying, bro. Whatever you got to do, man. Okay, anyways, Kevin's raffle is big time.
He got some freaking good raffle prizes. I saw that. I was like, shit, man.
Yeah, sign Henry Ellard and Bernie Kosar jerseys. Then, he's like crafting coasters that are like Tecmo Super Bowl plays. I think his girlfriend's doing that. That's awesome stuff.
God bless Kevin.
Love the creativity there. And then, so Tecmo Atlanta, that's going down 6-8. Hell, because that's the next one on my list.
It is going to be 6-9. So
yeah, 69.
Oh, it's on Saturday now.
Yeah, I don't think it was scheduled otherwise. If so, that was not correct. Let's see here.
I saw 6-8.
Oh, that's a typo then, if that's the case. No, Saturday, June 9th at 11 a.m. So
okay. And which one is that at again?
It's at the Southern Fried Gaming Expo. So
is there buy-in for that one, or
yeah, it's $10.
Sign up.
So,
$10?
Yeah.
So they just got to show up to the expo and they're good to go with $10.
No, they do have to get a badge to get into the expo. that's one of the reasons why our entry fees aren't very expensive. So
Okay. All right. Well, the same day I'm hosting a tournament, the Tecmo Super Bowl Hardcore Championship in Chicago at Demon Tap. We play there every Monday. You could see Monday Night Retro, as we're calling it now. We don't just play Tecmo, but that is the main.
I like it. I saw was it Holyfield Boxing the other day or something? That piqued my interest.
Yeah, the greatest heavyweights game.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's a great boxing game.
Yeah, I think it looks great for a Genesis game. I did view that for a little bit because I wasn't there when they were playing that one. It's tough for me to view that one for longer than 5 minutes because the matches do drag on quite a bit. It's just grunting back and forth. Ooh, 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 you know.
They're spitting white rice every hit, and then it turns into red rice.
So, oh man, but yeah, we're there every Monday playing. It's been great. You know, we've been in there since August. It's a newer bar. They basically tailor-made the back room for retro sports gaming players. They have Atari 2600, 2 Nintendos, a Nintendo 64. So it's really just an awesome time, and this is going to be our first tournament there. So I figured, you know, why not just throw the tournament always the way I wanted it to throw a tournament, which is hardcore style, just no rules, like it came out of the box.
I like it. Oh, speaking of that, this will be a talking point for next one. I was shooting horse, you know, and you're like, you know, opposite hand bank shot. And I was thinking about that in Tecmo, where you could open up the thing a lot. Like, so you could say Eagles, Browns, no QB Eagles. You know, like it opens up the playbook. If you can pull one player off a team, like you pull off Bobby Humphrey off the Broncos, and they go way down, you know, something like that. That's something to think about, like a horse tournament for Tecmo. No run 3, maybe is another one.
So the winner of the coin toss just gets to call it, like
but exactly like a horse shot.
Which one you want? No, I like that. You know, I think as we progress, you see all the tournaments happening across the country. Might as well just try to do something different. And that's
we do have to take it with a grain of salt that we're playing this game for so long. Like I would go that to some of my buddies, and they're still like, I don't even know who's on the Browns or Eagles. What are you talking about? So it's kind of like a for the guys who need a stronger high.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah, you have to have the right crowd for that.
Yeah, you need a bunch of Morts basically, Morts and Gats.
Maybe the Mort can run that after the Tecmo Players Champion.
Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, so I'm excited for that one. Demon Tap, if you haven't signed up yet, you could do so. It's retrosportsgamertom@gmail.com, PayPal, friends and family. Sign up for the tournament. Leave your shirt size in the notes. I'll be ordering those probably in about 10 days or so.
I need an XL with extra small armholes, by the way.
What's that?
I need an XL with extra small armholes.
Does your announcer get a
yes
t-shirt?
Oh yeah, we'll work on that. I can't see it today. What size do you need?
Double.
All right, double X. Okay, so Troy's going to be there. He's going to be running the main stream on TGFN Retro. That's going to be the Twitch channel.
Yeah, kudos to Troy on that channel. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's good. I was like, I'll look at it. I found myself watching it a lot more than I thought I would because I was kind of, after you get at Madison, I kind of like go, I'm done with video games for a while, but it snuck in. I started getting the itch, and I started watching some. They're really well done. Good job, Troy.
Thanks, man. We have a lot of really good color commentators.
Yeah, everyone's been pitching in. The schedule's been intense for those, and you've been cranking them out. A lot of different insight from guys in the Tecmo community that are top players because they're the ones that are playing. So it's really
more Thule. Get more Thule. He's got a big brain on him.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he's usually only available during the day unless I can catch him on the lunch hour.
Yeah, no, those have been a lot of fun. If you haven't checked it out, it's TGFN Retro on Twitch. So the Tupa Bowl is going to be on there. That's what Troy tried to say when he was talking on 5/19. So you want to tune in there 5/19 N69. Hal, you'll probably have a stream at your tournament as well for
Yes.
Tecmo.
Absolutely. They'll be able to go to twitch.tv/Tecmo Tour. So
6-9 is going to be a big day for streaming because I'll be
It's
streaming.
always big on the internet, man.
Yeah. So the
oh,
convention.
yeah, we got to show off each other's trophies to see who's going to come to each one. So
Yeah, I got a hardcore championship belt. You know, that I hope people like that one. But so we're gonna have 3 streams then that day because there'll be 2 from my.
You can do the Red Zone channel then, or they're all 3 separate streams?
They're separate, so you don't have to get a game cut off in the middle by pushing a button you want to watch.
Wow. And you got enough bandwidth? Doesn't that seem like a lot?
Well, basically, you can use a hotspot. We've done it before at D-Men Tap. Just chews up a lot of data. And then
don't tell the wife, hey, the data bill's through the roof. Yeah, it's those damn kids watching.
it's going to cost me $100 in data just for what I did in Vegas. So
Woo.
Yeah, no, it can hit you pretty hard. I got a big data package. I'm saving it all for that day. Troy's tournament or stream is going to have direct Ethernet, which is what we usually have from there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just in case there's a malfunction as well.
Cool. And then the other tournament in June is also one that Hal is throwing. That's 623. We've talked about this one, Tecmo Philly. And where's that one going to be at again?
Too many games it's going to be in Oaks, PA, but it's right in Philadelphia. So
cool. And then we're going to close out Troy. We kind of talked about this already. The TGFN Retro Tournament that Nick was talking about, saying he was having a good time watching. It's in the playoffs now. So what do you want to tell us about it?
Well, before I mention this, I want to make an announcement here. We are now officially calling the event as well on TGFN. That is now official. Okay,
so TGFN Retro is going to be calling Cleveland the Tecmo Jam.
Yes. So we're only calling Saturday. We're not doing anything Sunday with them. They're going to have their own thing that day. I have to come back Sunday morning. But the playoffs, the first round of the playoff started yesterday of the opening season. The 6 weeks of Swiss ended. And I'm going to pull up the seed, had it up, and then Discord shut on me. I had all my stuff open. So Joey Gas ended up being the number 1 seed. Other notables, QB Lions, sort of the sleeper, and up there.
Does he go by something else?
He's the
number QB Lions.
QB Lions. He's a Detroit area player or Michigan player. He ended up encountering a couple wins by forfeit due to situation. But the games he played, he dominated. He's definitely up against some pretty top names. Tecmo, Brewdog, Viking Mo are all up there alongside Gats. Some notables that didn't make the bracket, Rico and Primetime. Those are 2 guys that didn't make it. And then right now, the fan favorite is Broadway Joe, a.k.a. He made it in as a 20. Going on, the top 4 players are going to split $600.
Shit.
Of the week for the 6 weeks. They got a GamerStick 8-bit HD console. I'm going to be sending those out within a week here. So, but those are the last for week 6 yet. So they were able to get on board, sponsor a bunch of consoles. So those are nice extra consoles for if you don't have, you need extra Nintendos for your tournament. They work on a CRT, so you're not for those that are complaining about lag and all that, they can still do it that way, and it plays fine.
What's the brand again that you're cutting out a little bit?
Gamers Tech is the brand.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Tom.
Yep. What do you guys got in Green Bay? Cricket Wireless is your main service provider?
I'm going over my internal wireless right now.
Oh, man.
Aren't you an IT guy, dude?
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. You're just choppy. We got most of what you were saying.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I apologize again. Got the baby in the room here with me, so I was trying to keep the sound down. But
Just hand it to your wife on Mother's Day. Say, I'm talking video games with a couple other nerds. Deal with it.
But no, the online tournament's gone great. We've got a really good response. Some flack from certain community members not understanding what it was all about. Conflict to the greater good or something, and it's been quite the antithesis to that have stayed around enjoying themselves. We've got high production value on the MG, and we've had a lot of people step up for color commentary.
Yep. It's been a good time. Check it out. We've already plugged the Twitch channel quite a bit, so you know where to find it. So we're going to wrap up for tonight. So do you guys have anything else for us, Nick the Commish?
No, not at all.
Okay. Hal, I want you to close out with some of your social media stuff.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me on. You can follow us on Twitter, Retro World Series, Retro WRLD Series. You can follow us on Facebook /Retro World Series, Twitch.tv/Retro World Series, Instagram, Retro World Series. And, we put out stuff all the time. We're going to be streaming at our next event in Atlanta, and I hope to see you all there. It's going to be a good event. So
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for coming on. It's been nice talking to you. Heard about you for quite some time. Been trying to get you on. You're like, Tom, I just don't have it all planned yet. But now we see you're doing big things. Retro World Series, Tecmo Tour. Looking forward to how it all turns out.
I appreciate it.
And then Troy, if we can hear you, do you have anything else you want to?
Sing Radiohead. Sing Radiohead right now.
The mic will sound a lot better during the streams.
Troy, stop sitting on the mic.
You guys are awesome. Really appreciate your support. You know what?
I think he should do the twerk song. I mean, that's perfect for his situation.
His Twitch is awesome though, guys. If you just tune in for the first time, the actual videos he does for the Tecmo Bowl stuff, this TG, whatever it is called, is really good.
No,
so don't take it if it's your first time.
You'll hear every word when he does Tecmo though. So.
Yeah.
We got a message from the chat that says, "Good job, Hal, Commish, and RoboCop." Oh man! All right, so I think that's a good one to end this on. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so, and we'll be back next month with another Retro Sports Gaming Monthly. Take care. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.